Hey there, everyone. It has been a very interesting day out here across much of northern Japan. We have been seeing this very severe storm system, which already brought heavy snowfall for those of you across the Tokyo area here on Monday morning. It has since tapered off there, but now we have that CFX snow machine, which is really cranking up, bringing all that cold air in out from Siberia, pushing it over the Sea of Japan and even over here towards the East China Sea, and we're seeing snowfall as far west as Kyushu out here. What that means in short is lots and lots of snowfall for a lot of you, and it definitely is very welcome, especially for a lot of the ski and snowboard resorts. Many of them are not fully open, but I think after this one, everybody is going to be opened up. And really right here, you can kind of see what's going on in the satellite picture. We have not one, but two low pressure areas. We have one just off the coast of Hokkaido and another one developing here in the Sea of Japan. You can see the swirl right in here. Both of them are acting their parts to pull in that cold air. Over here, you see these lines kind of cascading from the north, extending over the Sea of Japan. That is picking up all that moisture. That's our CFX snow we're talking about. So we have two impacts here, the low pressures and that CFX snow. And one other thing I do want to mention before I get more into the forecast and these storms is the fact that it has been so warm so far this season that the sea surface temperatures are a little bit warmer than average. So that means you have a bigger difference between the cold air and the warm water. It just makes for more instability. It's not only for heavy snow, but also damaging winds and even storm surge. We actually have seen reports of 8 to 9 meter high waves there in parts of Aomori Prefecture. There in Namuro, 10,000 people asked to evacuate because of storm surge. This is not the recent storm surge. It's actually from 2014, but it does show this town is actually very vulnerable to rising sea levels, especially when you get these very potent storm systems in off the coast. But over the past week, you see this is normal sea level, and once that storm blew by, up to about 8 to 9 meters. Just absolutely incredible. What's going on now? Let's talk about the forecast and how long and how much snow is going to be coming down out here, because the totals that are going to be adding up really quite incredible considering the amount of snow we have gotten thus far this season. Like I mentioned, the above average sea surface temperatures really contributing to the amount of snow we are seeing this week, when we finally got a pretty decent cold surge coming through just because of these dual low pressure areas. And as we look ahead through Tuesday and Wednesday, those winds really stay out of the northwest and eventually towards the north, and that means more snow expected throughout the day on Wednesday. I think some of the heaviest totals actually could be here on Wednesday morning through the afternoon and evening hours into the Hokuriku region. And in fact, the Japan Meteorological Agency expecting Hokuriku to see upwards of 100 centimeters of snowfall through Wednesday. Hokkaido could see as much as 120 centimeters. So really, this is definitely incredibly high amount of the white stuff. One of the adverse side effects of that, though, we have been seeing kind of an ice layer building up on some of these layers just due to the lack of snow. You get heavy, wet snow on top of that, start to get that chance of avalanche. So really, this is something just I strongly advise to keep in mind this week. Check the snow report. Check the conditions before you head off piste. All of northern Japan has avalanche advisories in place. Nagano, Gunma, Niigata, not at this time, but I expect they're probably going to be put under it once you start to get a little more of this wet snow. But this is just the warnings right now of avalanche advisories for some of those steeper slopes out there. Look beyond Wednesday, though, head into Thursday, and really still more snow before things start to taper off by Friday. The main reason for that, the northerly winds start to let up. We have a little bit of a high pressure working its way in, but I do want to pull back and look over towards southeastern China. We have another low pressure area developing over here. You kind of see the swirl in the wind flow here. Once that pulls through, it's going to start to track off towards the northeast, and this is what we call another one of the southern coast lows. In fact, the last storm system that hit Tokyo brought all that snow on Monday morning. That was a southern coast low. This is going to be a similar outcome, and what that means, it is definitely bringing a lot of snow because we already have this cold air mass which is dominating the region. So we're going to be looking at that cold air coming through, that southerly moisture, and a lot of snowfall. In fact, there's going to be enough cold air coming in behind this next low pressure area that we're going to be looking at record-breaking cold temperatures, not only for northern areas of Japan, extending back towards the south. In fact, in Okinawa, the record for the lowest high temperature is 10.8, set in 1963. On Sunday, we're expecting only a high of 11 there, so things are going to get chilly. That puts it in perspective of how cold this air mass is going to be off towards the north. So this coming weekend, if you're out in the mountains, do bundle up. It is going to be a chilly one along with the winds. Will make for definitely a bitter trail if you are going to be up in the mountains this coming week and into next weekend as well. But let's talk about the slope of the week with TokyoSnowClub.com. Do go check them out, by the way. I've been on the last several trips having an amazing season this year despite the lack of snow, but now we have plenty of the white stuff to go around. It is going to be a great time. Really cheap way to get up there. If you're an expert or a beginner, you're going to have a tons of fun. But let's talk about the forecast here. Heavy snow, 25 to 35 centimeters here on Tuesday. Wednesday, still expecting more. Thursday, morning snow showers. It's going to be tapering off into the afternoon hours. So we got that high moving in. Clear skies on Friday. Actually, bluebird conditions really out there, but temperatures are going to stay on the cold side. Saturday, though, we're going to see more snowfall. That's an extended range. I don't know how much just yet, but it's going to be a low visibility day and definitely going to be a lot of snow. Maybe Sunday morning he might be able to get out there and get some fresh tracks. But that is all for the time being. If you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please let me know. As always, thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Really do not want to understate the importance of being aware of the avalanches this coming week. It is a lot of wet snow on top of kind of an ice layer we have been seeing build up in some areas. So it's going to be a rough one, and hopefully everybody does stay safe. Last week, great video edit by Dennis. I'm going to put the link down below if you were watching this on YouTube. If you know who he is, just go check out that video. I'm in there a few times, kind of a couple sake bottles in at one point. And also, do go check out another link I'm putting down below from NHK World, a pretty decent article about going off-piste and kind of the dangers of it here in Japan. All right, guys, that is all. Thanks for watching. Once again, stay safe.